Hi guys, I know it's been a month, but I've been really busy with Scuff Squad, some school stuff, and some IRL stuff, so hopefully I get that sorted out. If you don't know what Scuff Squad is, me and my friends decided to start a YouTube channel together, and we're doing pretty well so far. I got 21 subscribers after our first 2 streams and a video, so it's going pretty damn well. Plan on making some stream highlights video that will be coming out soon in the future, but if you don't want to miss a video there, you can subscribe and really help us out. Other than that, enjoy the video. The act of taking someone else's idea and making it yours is a terrible thing on its own. A great example of this is the case of George Harrison. Harrison was an artist in the early 1970s. In 1970, Harrison released a song titled My Sweet Lord. This song showed many similarities to girl group The Chiffons' 1963 hit, He's So Fine. Bright Tunes filed a lawsuit against Harrison for infringement of copyright. This resulted in Harrison paying a fine of $500,000, which in the 1970s was a significant amount of money. But not all acts of plagiarism have had a bad outcome. 5 years ago, in December of 2017, Destruction Crew released the game known as Rocket Soccer Derby. The game was originally released on Poki.com, Android, and eventually iOS. It quickly became the most popular game out of the others, and they could never have anticipated the incredible community and the players that it would create. Today, we will take a look back at the beginning, the peak, and the eventual demise of the game. Welcome to the history of Rocket Soccer Derby. If you haven't heard of Rocket Soccer Derby, I'll explain it for you. Essentially, it's a Rocket League ripoff game, just like Turbo League, but with a few minor kinks. There's a lot of differences between Rocket Soccer Derby and RSD, and in fact too many to list down. Just think of it as Rocket League for your phone. Throughout 2017 till late 2018, not much was known about the game, nor its devs, nor community. Only few videos on YouTube show what the game was like back in the day. So our story begins in 2019, and in an attempt to bring the community closer, the members of Destruction Crew made a Discord server for players of all their games to get together. The earliest recorded message in this Discord server was by the user Pellegrini, which was just a simple, "Hey, I like your game a lot, but can you create chat in the game?" The server was pretty small at the time, which means a lot of inactivity throughout the days. It is here where we find one of our first main characters. On the 22nd of May 2019, a user by the name of ISM would join the server with the very polite first words, "Fuckers." Hi, ISM is now known today as Cryptic, which we'll learn about later in the video. More inactivity would follow throughout the days, with the server averaging out around 1 message per day. It is on the 30th of May where we actually meet another main character. Meet Jenny Boy, who in 2019 to early 2020 was considered the best RC player at the time. It was safe to say that in 2019 to early 2020, it was the era of Jenny Boy and Cryptic. I'll explain why Cryptic is here too in a second. For his time, Jenny Boy was an incredibly mechanical player, and would do things that players could only dream about. And of course, the time wasn't as advanced as now, so it looks kinda trash. Not much would happen until the 8th of July, when the Destruction Crew would create a new Discord channel for players to share videos of their gameplay in. It is now time to go back to Cryptic, who would score the first ever documented freestyle in the game's history. And yet again, it looks like trash. But Cryptic wouldn't be the only one to upload his clip to the channel, as Jenny Boy would soon upload his own clips. And as an example of why he was considered the best player of his time, I'll let the following clip play. Cryptic and Jenny Boy would continue to upload their clips throughout the following months. Their clips were unmatched by anyone else in the community, which is another reason why they were considered the best. The end of 2019 drew near, and the community was thriving full of new players, and the game was starting to grow. In 2020, along with everything else that came that year, the game had started a fire that would soon become a great burn. Because in April of 2020, Cryptic and a player by the name of Risley would create a new Discord server targeted towards a massive tournament for any RSD player to join and participate in. It is here where most of the story would take place. Many players flocked over to the new server, and out of all the players that joined, two particular players stood out. The players went by the names Smksbest and Mr. Boomer First. While we don't have any knowledge of when Cryptic nor Janny Boy started playing RSD, we do have information on both SMK and Boomer. Boomer started playing RSD sometime in late 2017, early 2018, and had become highly skilled over that period of time, reaching around level 140, about 10 levels away from the max level. SMK, however, started playing RSD in February of 2020, reaching level 80 within 3 months of playing. He played it every day, and he loved the game. I honestly have no idea how I know this information. Must have been the win. The format of the tournament involved you needing to create your own team with another player, and in this case, Boomer chose no other than SMK. The pair played and trained with each other almost every day, and with every day came more improvement, as only a week later, Boomer had reached the max level, while SMK was around the level 100. Let's turn to a different side of the story first, the YouTube side more specifically. On the 21st of May 2020, a user would upload a video titled Episode 1 Rocket Soccer League Beginningers Mode to YouTube. Their videos never really took off, not until they uploaded this video. This video was an instant hit, getting over 26,000 views to this day. And over the next few days, weeks, and even months, they would continue to upload Rocket Soccer Derby videos, like trying different challenges or season highlights. While you don't know the videos, you've definitely heard the username. The user in question goes by Vade, who in 2020 and 2021 became the biggest RSD YouTuber in the world. His channel saw massive growth throughout the year on YouTube, and today now sits at just over 540 subs. Now let's go back to Boomer and SMK. Months went by, and SMK and Boomer still played together, both as teammates and best friends, both playing close games against each other every single time. It was a 50-50 split on who would win. It was now the 18th of August. For most people, it was a normal day, but for the RSD community, it was anything but normal. On the 18th of August, a small user by the name of RSD Freestyle would upload a video titled Rocket Soccer Derby Practice Highlight. The video itself would blow up overnight, gaining over 6.3 thousand views today. Players were shocked at the insane freestyles he could do. The RSD community had just entered the era of freestyles. RSD Freestyle's current YouTube inspired players to hit freestyles themselves. At the time, no one could even come close to RSD Freestyle's level. Players described him as godly and the GOAT. But RSD Freestyle wouldn't just stop at one montage. He made 4 more montages and decided to change it up. RSD Freestyle's incredible growth and success on YouTube eventually inspired Smksbest to start his own channel, and on the 16th of November 2020, SMK would upload his video titled When You Get Unlucky in Rocket Soccer Derby. At the start, SMK didn't really get a lot of attention, but he prevailed. Eventually, he would hit a gold mine, when on the 17th of December, after 7 other videos, he uploaded a video based on playing against the best RC player in the world. This video would end up with 1.2 thousand views today, and this was only the beginning. After hearing about SMK starting his own channel, Boomer decided to make a new channel on the 31st of December 2020. This channel would be based around RSD content. New Year's came around the next day, and little did everybody know, but that year, something incredible would happen. But let's go back to the 31st of December. Apart from Boomer starting his own channel, SMK would upload a very important video to his channel. The quest for the perfect ceiling shot. While the ceiling shot had been performed before all the way back in 2019, a ceiling shot with no bounce hadn't been. SMK made it his quest to be the first. And after only 2 days of grinding, Smksbest hit this shot. While this looks pretty basic now, back then it was monumental. Smksbest would not be the only one to post videos like these though, as on the 24th of January, RSD Freestyle would be the first to ever hit the musty double tap, and not too long after, in their dribble from the backboard, which back then was considered the hardest shot in the game. The end of January had arrived, and it was now the 5th of February where Smksbest would upload a freestyle 1v1 versus Stiffware. Stiffware was a member from the SDCS Discord server, who was known to be one of the best players at the time. SMK's video would never really take off until the 7th of February, where RSD Freestyle would upload another freestyle 1v1 against Stiffware. Unlike SMK's video, this video blew up, standing at 1.2 thousand views today. 3 days later, SMK would upload another video, titled Rocket Soccer Derby League 8 Highlights. He didn't know it at the time, but SMK had just uploaded his second most viewed video, gaining over 8.1 thousand views today. Up until this point, RSD players had no way of controlling / knowing the best way to set up a freestyle. Most players would drive the ball into the wall and take whatever setup it gave them. Well, on the 16th of February, RSD Freestyle would find an easy solution to get better and more consistent setups. He found that when the ball rolls up the wall, it would normally roll up and away from the wall, as shown in the video. In some rare cases, though, the ball would stick to the wall. A normal setup when the ball creates space between it and the wall would normally fail, as the ball gets pushed more sideways than above, making it a bad setup. RSD Freestyle's simple solution is by jumping earlier than you normally do. If the ball has space between it and the wall, it would almost always result in an almost perfect setup. This information would quickly spread throughout the community, and today it is how players would do it. Now let's go back to one of the other players, Vade. The reason we haven't talked much about Vade in this period is because he was doing Minecraft streams, but he would eventually return to RSD on the 21st of February, where he would upload his video while playing a league game against tough opponents. He would continue to upload RSD and only RSD from then on. Smksbest had been uploading videos for around 4 months now, and had been loving the experience. He found it fun to upload, and on the 10th of March 2021, unbeknownst to him, he had just uploaded one of the most viewed videos in RSD ever. This video became SMK's most viewed video within a month and eventually today, standing at a whopping 11,000 views today. And ever since that day, something in SMK was different. His channel began gaining lots of attention, and not long after, he started to grow rapidly. But let's not dive into that yet. Let's take a look at RSD Freestyle. After uploading a total of 9 more videos, he had all of a sudden disappeared without any signs of where he went. His YouTube channel stood radio silent, and some had thought he had moved on. Vade would continue to post highlights and clips until eventually moving to short videos. Our good friend Boomer, or Idiot in RSD, would upload a 1v1 versus SMK that never really took off. The community seemed a bit dormant, and with the disappearance of RSD Freestyle, it was like a kingdom had lost its king. But when a king is lost, another one rises. And that king, or kings I may say, was the WDK members. After SMK uploaded this video, his channel began to skyrocket. Since the 10th of March, he went from 33 subscribers to 100 in just 39 days. His rapid growth on YouTube almost equaled his rapid growth in the game itself. His incredible growth on YouTube inspired his best friend / teammate Boomer to upload RSD videos himself. Boomer would start by uploading an RSD double touch montage on the 26th of March, which gained over 350 views today. Just 28 days after SMK had hit 100 subs, he was already halfway to 200. But within those 28 days, SMK would upload an incredibly important video. This one. I made 2 level 150 players in 1v1 in Rocket Soccer Derby. The video itself includes Boomer in it. SMK himself was level 150 at the time, but this video wasn't about him and Boomer 1v1ing. It was actually an old friend of ours, and who else but none other than Vade. This is the first video that included SMK, Boomer, and Vade together, after SMK contacted Vade through his Instagram, which I'll link in the description. Vade at the time had just uploaded his Lemonade montage. It had gained a fair amount of views at the time, but let's get back to the 1v1. After SMK's video had blown up, gaining over 700 views today, SMK invited Vade to the SDCS server, where they eventually invited him to join WDK, which he did. SMK, Boomer, and Vade had become the best and most well-known players in the community, with all of them mostly known on YouTube. They all continued to include each other in everyone's videos, like this one for example, or even this one. They eventually grew closer and closer as friends. The WDK squad was thought to be the unbeatable team, as it consisted all of level 150 players. But something smart that Boomer had so long ago really reflects on how the WDK story would progress. But before we progress, we have to meet another team. Meet Team TRF. Team TRF is a Brazilian RSD group consisting of the best South American players and freestylers. To my knowledge, the group consists of 20 plus players and is owned by Shark RSD. Shark has a YouTube channel of his own. His links are in the description if you want to check him out. We now have to go back to the SDCS server, where sometime in early July of 2021, the server was hosting a seasons event, where all the teams created would face off in either a 2v2 or a 3v3 depending on the team situation. The teams were given a week to face each other. This event was being taken care of the community legend Savage Neo. There were 6 teams competing in the event, and 3 of the teams were mostly active, while the other teams were in a dormant state. These 3 teams were of course WDK, TRF, and another team named NJR, managed by another community legend, Crazy Abra. The first week included the match WDK vs TRF. WDK planned on playing SMK and Boomer to play against TRF, as they had heard about how good TRF members are. WDK planned on playing SMK and Boomer to play against TRF. The day of the match had arrived, but there was a problem with Boomer. Just hours before the game would begin, his internet was having issues and he had to be substituted for Vade. This was bad for them, as SMK hadn't trained as much with Vade than with Boomer. The time had arrived for the match. Vade and SMK were facing off against confident rivals SS Ryan and Hatake, the 2 best TRF members. They also have a YouTube channel of their own, as well as the TRF group themselves. You'll be able to find everyone's link down in the description. The 2v2 that was played can be watched here, and I'll save you the time of watching it. It did not go well for WDK. When Boomer caught news, he was furious. The match ended up causing a lot of beef and controversy between Boomer and the TRF members. Boomer had always had a problem with TRF members. I don't remember why. Eventually, the beef and controversy was sorted out, and WDK and TRF became more allies instead of foes. But Vade and SMK would never forget the feeling and pain they felt to lose that game. July had passed. SMK and Boomer had continued to upload throughout the month, but when the month passed, they felt different. They didn't feel enjoyment in the game anymore, and it felt like it was time. On the 28th of August, Smksbest and Boomer announced their retirement from RSD. Some players were devastated about it, and some even tried to convince them to stay. Shark RSD was one of those people. Saw that you were going to stop playing RSD, but you still have a channel. There's still Turbo League. It can bring some cool content to your channel. You shouldn't end your channel here, as if you continue, soon you may earn 300 subs or more. Always believe and dream, because dreams can always come true. Even with Shark's inspiring words, it was not enough to stop SMK and Boomer from leaving the RSD community. In SMK's retirement message, he stated that he will be unlisting all of his videos. This means that only people with a link to the video will be able to view its contents. And on the 1st of September 2021, SMK's YouTube channel would have 0 videos to it. Boomer decided to keep his videos up. Their retirement also meant the disbandment of WDK, also forcing Vade to join NJR, where he resigns today. Throughout the month of September, the community was full of dormant. Could the retirement of the 2 best players in the world at the time really end an entire community? SMK started to remember the words that Shark had wrote to him that time ago. He couldn't get the guilt of killing community out of his mind. So on the 25th of September at 4:03 AM for SMK, he returned back to the SDCS server after having left it a month ago. He looked in shock as he read all of the past messages of the remaining players that desperately tried to bring the RC community back to its former glory, but were unable to do so. SMK saw what he could only describe as a ghost town. He invited Boomer back to try and revive the community once and for all. Boomer and SMK tried their best to recover the community they left in ruins, and they almost succeeded, but missed out on one last fatal flaw: RLSS. Since 2020, Psyonix, creators of Rocket League, have been trying to release a mobile version of Rocket League. They would call this game Rocket League Sideswipe, which would finally be released in the tail end of 2021. This marked the last nail in the coffin for RSD, a community left untouched till now. The game is not dead yet though. It has a small community within it. The game might never return to its former glory, but all it needs is that one player to bring it someplace better. For me and the old RSD community, the game will always hold a special place in my heart, as one of the games that shaped me into the person I am today. Without it, I may have never met my teammate/best friend Boomer, but most importantly, I wouldn't be here telling you this story if it weren't for that game to exist. And with the channel soon approaching 400 subs, it has been something I could only dream of doing. I would just like to give a huge thank you to the RSD community and what they have done for me in the last 2 years of my life. This is all for you. Thanks for watching.